side. The other club has 15, they wear black or gold with pride. Rugby is their passion, winning well their only goal. 40 minutes each way can work wonders for the soul. Monday through till Friday, nothing matters much at all. But on weekends, all we're gonna salute the oval ball.
We do the business on the paddock. Our bit of grass, right? Our speckies, we're top of the league. One at a time, we win one at a time, we win the league.
April '92. Orrell's veteran captain, Sammy Southern, has a real chance of achieving his life's ambition, to lead Orrell to victory in the English Rugby Union Championship.
And we're going to ram it right down the throat, out there on the paddock this afternoon.
Throughout the winter, Orrell have been playing tough and competitive rugby. Now they're at the top of the championship table, and there are only 3 matches to go before the end of the season.
Individual effort. Can Heslop control it? Superb score.
A 9-0 join. Just because we've got the score from the win doesn't mean we're going to be winners at 4:30. We've got to go out and take it.
Much of Orrell's success has been due to the leadership both on and off the field of Sammy Southern. Now 38 years old, this is Sammy's last season as captain.
Captain of Orrell, you're not just captain of the first team, you're captain of the whole club. So you've got to make sure everything in the club is running smoothly and everybody's happy right through the teams connected with rugby. I like to think if anybody's any problems, either on or off the field, they can come and have a chat with me. And then I can, if you will, try and my best to sort it out through the club.
Most of the time, it's no problem being captain and holding in a full-time job. It's just the odd week, like this week when we've big game on Saturday and club dinner tonight. It just means you're at the club. Like this week, I'm at the club 4 nights a week, more or less straight from work. But it's something you know about before you take the job on, so you've got to carry on and get on with it.
The annual club dinner. Like much of rugby life, this is an all-male affair. This is one of the last occasions when Sammy will be on top table with the club's bigwigs. Next year, he's returning to the ranks.
I just want to go back to being one of the lads and not go into committee meetings and straight after the game and go and have a pint with the lads instead of all the committee wanting to know why we lost with 2 points when we should have won with 60. So I'm looking forward to just having a rest on that side of it next year.
No, thank you. I'm quite content, yes. If you call a pint of lager of the cure, then that will go down well. Yeah? That will last me all through the speeches then. All right. Thank you.
The president of the Rugby Football Union, Peter Yarrington, kicks off his speech with a reference to Orrell's president, Brian Taberner.
I grow roses in my spare time. And there is a rose, believe it or not, in the English Rose Growers Handbook called Taberner's Purple Stalk. I think it is really extremely kind of you to laugh at that, but that's not the punchline at all. There's a picture of it on one side and a description of it on the other side of the page. And it's described as being no good in a bed, but it thrives up against a brick wall. The example comes from the top, and it comes from the captaincy, it comes from the administration, and it comes from the leading players. Your skipper, Sammy Southern, is, as you all know, a great skipper, and now you are one of the greatest clubs in the world. But I ask you to rise and toast the health of your great club, coupled with the name of Sammy.
Despite Orrell's success, it's still very close at the top of the Union League table. Last year's champions Bath are only 1 point behind. Sam is devoting every spare moment from his job to preparing himself for the next match, against the glamour club from Sunbury-on-Thames, Wasps.
I come to the gym most dinner times and most nights. I'll train at lunchtime, I'll come back at night straight from work and then go straight up to Orrell and train up there. When I'm not at Orrell, I train, I'll go for a run, you know, through the woods and things like that.
In the old days, perhaps even when you began your career, this kind of dedication wouldn't have been expected of a rugby union player.
No, I don't think it was. It was just two laps around the pitch and a game of touch rugby and then a few pints. But, you know, it's competition's tough, and if you want to get to the top, you've got to be, first thing you've got to do is be fit.
Right, to there we're all right.
Yeah.
But with the season drawing to a tense close, some of Orrell's players are feeling the strain.
Right, and if I try and go, that brings it on.
Yeah.
I can come out this way.
Bob Kimmins is a big man and plays a key role at number 4 in the second row of the scrum. But he has a painful back problem.
If let your leg come down a little bit, again, let me have the weight of it. If we go across there, does that bring anything on?
Nothing.
Okay. Bob's condition is one where he irritates the structures in his back, and that comes about as a combination of his playing and his work. And if he's played particularly hard, if he's played in a top-level game and put a little bit more effort in than is required in either training or some of the lesser games, he puts a greater strain on his back.
Club physiotherapist Sarah Booth puts Bob through his paces. The team need him to be fit for next Saturday's game.
What do you mean? You don't play at this pace during the game. Well, there's the odd little amble, but you're looking like suddenly move. And that's the difference between when you play and what you're giving it in play. Tall men in any walk of life tend to suffer more with a back problem. If you add together poor posture, playing rugby, bricklaying for a job, you've got trouble. We're at the stage now when Bob has been in that position for a long time. I mean, Bob's back is well known. You know, Bob's got a bad back.
You've just got to grit your teeth, haven't you?
In the line-out, it always looks as if you could be very vulnerable to somebody just sort of going through your back.
No, it's just it's give and take. They do it to you, you do it back to them. It's no big deal. They don't set out to inflict any pain on you. Just one of them things. Sorry, Harry.
So your plans for the rest of the season?
Hopefully I'm going to try and play next week.
Bob goes on another training run, this time with his captain. Sammy knows only too well how critical Bob's performance will be in the match against Wasps.
Bob's busting a gut to play on Saturday. Bob's so important because your second row's the powerhouse of the scrum, so you've got to have such power coming through there. Bob being like 19 stone plus, and when he's fit, there's a lot of power coming through. And then he's 6'8½", but he's also very athletic. So he's 6'8½", but he can jump higher as well. You get some people who are 6'6", 6'7", but they can't get off the ground. Bob can, and he gets uphill. People just can't live with him. He's run well tonight, but he's still getting... It's not much the problem when he's actually running and when he's playing. It's what happens the day after. What he's concerned about and we're concerned about is that it affects him the day after on Monday, and then it affects him going to work. Which obviously, if he can't turn into work on Monday morning, it's no good to him and his family. So we've got to get that right for him before we can let him play.
OK. Great that, Des. All right, thanks very much. See you after. Ta-da.
The conflict between the demands of competitive amateur rugby and the need to hold down a job is the constant problem of rugby union.
Oh.
Martin Hines, who's just been called in for a training session for next Saturday's match, went on tour with Orrell last summer. When he returned, he found he'd lost his job. Since then, he spent months on the dole.
Listen, what time do you want me back for tonight?
Well, as soon as possible, really.
Well, listen, I'm a bit financially embarrassed at the moment. Any chance you can lend me a few quid just so I can have a quick pint with the chaps before I come back?
How much do you want?
Well, I suppose it's 10 or...
It's 10 enough?
Yeah.
You sure? We'll take that and bring me the change if you don't need it.
Right, thanks.
OK.
Yeah.
Right.
When they shaved me on my birthday, it was at my 18th. All the lads, they got me.
Upstairs in the bedroom, yeah.
Got me drunk on my 18th birthday.
They got you drunk. You did a pretty good job of doing it yourself.
Force it down, and the lads, my mates from the rugby club, was Colts at the time. And when I woke up in the morning, there was all these bodies in the bedroom just looking at me. You wake up to all these faces, and I thought something's wrong here. And the latest craze was shaving eyebrows. So I put my hands up and, oh no, they shaved my eyebrow off. I tried the other, oh no, that had gone as well. And they still kept looking and laughing at me. And when I looked down there, every hair on my body, my armpits, my doings, legs, everything had all been shaved. And all the hair was piled up in a big pile on my belly.
And Mum had the job of hoovering it up.
That's,
I mean, rugby players are known for their jolly japes, isn't it all a bit childish?
I suppose it is. It's all done and dusted by the time you know, 18 and 19, and then it's just the patter and the crack after that. But, you know, it's just lads growing up, isn't it?
Come on, Orrell!
For Martin and his mother, the hardship of being out of work pales into insignificance alongside the chance of his being the latest Orrell player to be picked for the England squad.
He went down to London, hoping for a B-team players. And, well, I had a little secret phone call, actually, on the Saturday night to say that he hadn't made the B-team. So I was, you know, full of woe and saying, oh, are you upset, love, and all the rest of it. No, Mum, on the contrary, he said, they've put me on the A squad. He said I'm on the full England squad, which I couldn't believe.
They asked me to come down training, didn't they?
Yeah, they asked him to go down and train with the England squad. So I just sat here for a whole night, bursting to tell everybody. And because it was a secret, couldn't tell a soul. So, I don't know, it was a really proud moment.
I mean, it's fantastic. No amount of money can ever buy a place, and they can't buy an England shirt. You have to earn that, so it's, you know, the financial side, it doesn't matter there. But also, it sounds silly, but it was quite a good achievement for not just for me, but for the club and other people around, you know. I felt good that it's just another one of us up there.
I'm really chuffed for Angie because his attitude is tremendous. He's only 22 and he's willing to learn, and he's for 22 on playing the position he plays against the opposition he does and consistently come out on top. He deserves his chance.
Now, with the position at the top so close, Martin Hines is less concerned with England than he is with Orrell's chance of winning the Rugby Union Championship.
Can we afford to lose at all now? Is this it? We have to keep winning right at the end today.
Nobody else
It's like Wasps winning the championship 2 years ago on the last kick of the game, of the last game of the season. You know, it was that close that season. It might be the same again.
At this moment in time, it's, you know, if we don't lose, we'll win the league. If we don't lose any of the games, it's in our hands.
So you're not
we're not relying on anybody else to lose. If we win all our games, we'll win the league.
Saturday, April the 11th. Northern pride and Northern beer are packed into the bus for the journey 200 miles south. And to everyone's relief, Bob Kimmins is fit for the big match.
Morning, Sam.
Morning. Morning.
Morning, Sammy.
Morning.
You know it's all about wins. Don't let me get me! You mean like you all?
They'll be as fit. I don't think. I think if the backs they might forward about a bit, but I don't. I mean, they've been playing for nothing, haven't they? So they'll have been doing like all in training.
Yeah.
I just feel at this point in time that it's probably the hardest game we've had. Let's get our bloody front five round and create that bloody mayhem in the midfield.
Hello, mate. It's soon for you, isn't it?
£5, please.
Maybe we're all with Orrell.
You're on the figure, right? Okay, all right. Okay.
Come on, lads, let's get shirts on.
Scissors, anyone?
7 minutes, lads.
Scissors.
13 there, not 6.
Listen, lads, the last 5 minutes, the important thing is to bloody relax. Keep the concentration in many ways about the game, but relax. It's the start we're bothered about. We're going to play this game from the front, right? So don't tense up. Now, come on, be conscious of that.
Throughout the first half of the match, Orrell dominate the game, and at half-time, they lead Wasps by 9 points to 0.
We've got to keep driving and driving, all right, and then we shook them in before the backs of it. But we've got to play with the pace now, what they can't live with, right? Think what I said, they've done nowhere near as much work as us, right? They're nowhere as prepared as us. They don't want it as much as we do. That's evident. If we score early doors, we'll get a pamphlet, right? If we keep it up. Now, come on, we don't quit, right? We've one more round.
Keep it on!
But in the second half, Wasps fight back. With just 2 minutes left, Orrell get a penalty. They now lead 12 points to 10.
Let's go! Get that ball up! Side! Get them up there! Side!
But 10 seconds before the final whistle, Wasps gain possession. And with a drop kick in the dying moments of the game, Orrell's championship hopes are dashed.
What do you want me to say? Well, can't say anything.
It's all the hard work over the season done in the last 2 seconds. Unbelievable. The last line action's been played.
Can you read the first, please? Thank you.
Basically, it's defiance.
People I feel sorry for, people like Sammy. I mean, he's been here since he was 20 in the first team near enough. He's getting on nearly 40 now and 1 second away from very near glory. Yeah, it's very hard to take, really.
Unbelievable. They scored in the last minute in the league last year. They kicked a drop goal today in the last 5 seconds.
I mean, that Hugh Davis has been playing all these years. I don't think he'll ever hit another drop goal like that in his life. He certainly hasn't hit one up until now. Unbelievable.
I think the heart's broken that much. There's nothing there, but keep going.
Laughing now. Winners can laugh, losers can please ourselves, can they?
How are you going to keep your spirits up for the rest of the season?
Well, we came in and found out Northampton had lost, so we'll work out the mathematics of it and we'll give it a go. If we'd have won today, we'd have been sitting pretty. But, the odds are against us now, but there's still some odds to go.
So we'll go for it.
I think words doesn't sum it up, really. I said what they like in the bath, I said it was deep enough, they'd have drowned, I think. So one or two of them get over it pretty quick. No point harping about it, and, you know, you get on with the next game and shatter him, but you've got to pick yourself up.
On Easter Monday, some pride was regained when Orrell beat the Harlequins. Once again, they're top of the table, but alongside Bath. There is still a chance that they could win the championship. Des Seabrook, now retired, has devoted most of his life to Orrell, first as player, then as captain, and now as unpaid coach. He's seen it all before.
I think it's in your blood. I think one of those things that I've been used to for 30-odd years, and I think if I now just suddenly packed it all in and said, well, you know, I'll not be involved, I think I'd be worse off. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't know what to do, particularly since I've retired, and my hobby's my job, and my job's my hobby, and I love it.
But Bob Kimmin's back is worse. He has to see a specialist at the local hospital.
Still a bit still. Come back up and lead to extension. Come over backwards. Tilt to the side now. Not painful?
It's stiff. I've had 10 good years of playing rugby, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, but now it's just getting a bit tiring, so to speak. In the long term, I can only go so far, and I've got to decide what I've got to do.
What are your options?
Basically, to give up, well, I've got to just pack in playing rugby, that's all. Can't jack in work.
How many more years do you think you could keep playing?
About 2 months, basically. I might retire at the end of the season anyway, so to see what's what.
April the 25th, the last match of the season.
Last down today on here.
For Orrell to win the championship, they must win this match and Bath must lose theirs, being played 150 miles away on the same afternoon.
This, lads, is the last round, right? We shake hands, we come out fighting. It's like the boxing match, right? We're in front on points. But there's one thing. If we win, we've a chance of getting that decision. But there's one thing can stop us, and that's the bloody sucker punch that happens in the bloody last round. We've had one. We were on our knees. As far as our skipper is concerned, it is his last game as skipper, right? If ever anybody's put something in for this club, he has. If ever anybody's put something in this season, he has. You know that. I didn't have to say this, but I would say it, because the compliments have to come to him. We put it in for him today. More than anybody else, whatever you do for yourselves, you're doing double for him today. And that's what I expect. And I think everybody, if we talk to everybody, that is the bloody bottom line as far as this team and this club is concerned.
Clear here, you can. Ticket for John Burgess.
No, this is it. This come what it means today, the top, right? Now, we either win it outright, or else we're more or less joint second. No, we've got to win and we've got to go for it. When you come up after, then you find out that if you'd have just pushed that bit more, if you'd have just dragged that little bit more at your bootlaces, you could have won it. You would have won it. So I don't want that to happen today. I want us to come off there with a good W under our belt. We've done everything we can, as a group of lads, as a gang of mates, right? That's what it's about this afternoon. Us lot, going out there and performing. So come on, let's just move it in now. Just squeeze each other, come on.
We just get hold of each other, pull each other in a circle, and that's the formula. I always say is, right, we're together now, we're us one. There's 17 of us with the replacements, and we'll all work together. Nothing will split us up till 5 o'clock, till after the game.
Max, let's give the fours one this week. Let's give them one. They'll do the job, we'll do the rest.
Frank, get in here.
Come on.
Come on.
Let's do it.
Despite his back, Bob Kimin scores. It is perhaps the last try of his rugby union career.
While there's time, there's hope, as you might say.
Orrell are winning in style, but the news from the south is not good.